Welcome to the
How you doing? Okay. Right. We've got the West Indies captain, Kraigg Brathwaite here, ahead of his 90th test, ready to answer questions. We'll take questions from the room first, and then we will open it up to Zoom as well thereafter. So if we'd like to start with Brett. Yeah.
Skipper, as well as your 89 test matches, you've now had a period in charge of the test match team. I wonder, do you think this is the best group of players you've had at your disposal so far?
It's quite hard to say it best. It's a young group. Is a group that are willing to put in the work. I'm not saying that some of the teams before it wasn't. But what I would say is a young group, and especially the batsmen. So, they have a lot of time to learn, because obviously playing Test cricket, it takes a while to really understand. You're always learning on the job. But yeah, it's a very decent team for sure. Recently,
between England and West Indies, you've been competitive series, you've had a lot of success. It seems England are going through a process of rebuilding a bit. They've perhaps got some attention on the Ashes. England seems to always have attention on the Ashes. If they were a bit distracted in this series, you could perhaps take advantage of that, I wonder.
But I mean, we won't be studying that part really. We focus on ourselves and what we want to do well, and that's our main focus, to be honest.
And just finally from me, what would you say is your biggest asset as a team going into this test match? Our
own performance, because we need everything. We need catches to be caught. We need 20 wickets to win a test match, and then we got to put runs on the board. So, I think our own consistency of performing throughout this series is what's important.
Jules?
Yeah, everyone knows how hard it is to win away from Test cricket these days. You don't get the preparation time that previous teams used to get. I just wondered, coming into this series, how much heart do you take from that win in Australia last time out in terms of self-belief and what that means to the team?
Yeah, I think it was a big positive for us, to get a win, because it shows that we could get the job done. And obviously the key for us as a group is to be consistent and do it consistently. And, we could take a lot of stuff from that game, both as batsmen, because we had some guys doing well in that game with the bat, some important partnerships. And then with the ball, we were outstanding. Obviously Shamar was the star, but pretty much all the bowlers put in a very, very good effort, and we caught well as well. So its history is gone. We got to look forward to this first test and then the other test matches this series. But it at least gives us that cue that we could get the job done, and we just got to believe in ourselves.
Thank you.
Spoons?
Thanks. This is Jason's 10th anniversary of Test cricket. I know you're happy to have him back, but how much of an asset is having him in the dressing room, especially with Kemar being out for the series?
Yeah, Jason obviously has a lot of experience, and it's always good to have him in the group. A lot of younger guys look up to him, and he always is there to offer advice. So it's great to have him, and I know he'll be looking forward to leading from the front with this young group as well.
What has he been telling you? Captaincy at large. He had a taste of it in 2017 when we obviously were second in command. What has he been telling you with the leadership and the slow things of that nature?
Well, we don't go too in depth in terms of the slope, and obviously it's a kind of different team. But we speak about the different bowlers that some of the guys may not know that he played against, and just letting that information when necessary, to be honest.
Kraigg, have you got an 11 for us? Have you finalised your team?
Yeah, we have 11. Michael Louis will make his debut in this test match. 5 batsmen. 3 will be Kurt McKenzie. 4, Ali Anthony. 5, Kavim Hodge. The all-rounder, Jason Hood, will be at 6. Joshua Da Silva, the keeper, at 7. And then we have 1 spinner, Gudakesh Moti. And then 3 fast bowlers, Jaden Seals, Alzari Joseph, and Shamar Joseph.
Some of those younger batters maybe haven't played against England before. Can you just tell us a bit about them and what we can expect?
I think they're young and exciting. Kurt McKenzie got a few 50s in Australia, which was good, and also good. Kavim Hodge got a nice 80-odd as well, which was good in Australia, and at least that gives Ali Anthony some confidence to show him that he can do it as well. And the challenge for us obviously is to do it consistently. And I think the more games they play, they'll be better. They have a lot of talent, and we are fully 100% behind them.
Good morning, Kraigg.
Yeah.
With the Honourable Desmond, he is no longer being the lead selector, and we're talking about selection. What will be the makeup of the selection committee on tour now?
Well, I don't know if I could touch 100% on it because it's nothing that's, I guess, confirmed fully. So yeah, it'd be probably a little tough for me to speak on that. Since it is not official from West Indies Cricket Board as yet.
I meant for this selection, you just have 11. I mean, this could be 11 on tour.
Right. Well, yeah, I understand, but it's probably a little tough for me. Since it's not an official word from West Indies to me to speak on it, like, right? Yeah.
Kraigg, in terms of your batting approach, obviously you yourself played a very important innings last time out to help win that series in the Caribbean. Clearly, with all the talk about Bazball, England go hard with their batting. Is your best approach to play the way you do, or is your team? I mean, we haven't seen much of your batting. Is it a variety of approaches you can take, or is it basically hang in there and build as long as it takes to put a score on the board?
I mean, every batter has a different style, and one thing we urge is for guys to have their plans and bat it themselves. And obviously over years, my general style is taking my time, and that's me. And we urge all our batters, to bat their game and their plan, and that's what we'll do. We focus on ourselves.
But in terms, obviously, what we expect from West Indies, not quite sure because I haven't seen. But in terms of what you expect as captain, what's the fundamental thing you need from your young players, particular the ones who haven't got a lot of experience at the top there?
I mean, showing fight is very important and very crucial for us as a group. Obviously, batting a whole day is always a positive, and big partnerships. Those little key points for us are very important. And once we can do that, it sets up a test match in a positive way. To look for test match wins.
Give it, and then Mike.
Kraigg, all the talk this week about Jimmy Anderson, naturally, that had been his last test. How does he compare for you as a fast bowler in terms of the challenges he presents with the new ball to others in this generation?
Yeah, he's obviously a legend of the game. He's very consistent in hitting a line of length. And then he obviously could determine whether he goes in or out. And that's obviously a skill in itself. And I think facing him in England is a good challenge, and you really got to be on it. And once you could, come out from facing a guy like him on the positive side and getting runs and stuff, it really gives you a lot of confidence. So, obviously we have our plans, and as I told the guy, just believe in yourself, believe in your plan, and enjoy it as well, because it's always a great series playing here in England, and we truly look forward to it.
Some people have said that when they first face him, it's quite difficult to pick up whether it's going in or out. Is that something that you had as a young player, the sort of the cues to pick up?
Yeah, I mean, you've got a couple of split seconds to obviously decide. So you really got to trust your eyes. Obviously it's not 90 miles an hour, so it's a bit more time to see it. But I'd say you trust your eyes and trust your defense, whether you go on the attack or defend the ball, whichever it is. You fully have to believe in yourself and stay as still as possible. That's very, very important.
Mike and then Bill.
Captain, 7 years ago, you were Jimmy Anderson's 500th Test wicket on a day about as dark as this, if not darker. Do you remember much about it? And do you remember the ball at all? I remember the floodlights being on, so light must have been an issue.
Yeah, I remember the ball. I don't think about it too much. But yeah, I do remember.
Great. Louis becomes the first player from CK's to play a test match. I mean, it took 96 years for that to happen. Was there a time? First of all, tell us a little bit about him. What you know about him, the kind of player he is. I guess he's the alter ego to you in terms of how you attack him. But seriously, was there a temptation also to pick his brother and make it 2-1?
I mean, he's in the squad, so obviously he has a chance to play. So I can't say in terms of two of them. But last season gone, obviously he did extremely well with the bat, and he batted long as well. He batted some long periods. He showed a lot of fight. He puts away the ball when it's a bad ball. But he's a nice guy, very joyful spirit. And I know he'll do extremely well, playing international cricket, for many years. But, my advice to all the younger boys in the group, and like Mikael making his debut, is don't just aspire to play for West Indies first competition, be the first to score 30 hundreds. You got to think big, don't think too small. And I think he'll do extremely well.
And your handshake, you were in on that. You promised, and it looked kind of special.
Yeah, well, I wasn't in on it. Obviously, he and his brother, because they always have a lot of different handshakes. That's one thing. So yeah, that was nice to see him, doing it with the king. Well, I'm not too sure. I mean, his brother Jeremiah is. I know who's more the handshake boss. I'm not too sure if Mikael is the same.
Brilliant. Okay, we'll take any questions on the Zoom. Any questions? Put your hand up. I don't think we have any. Okay. That's it. Thank you very much. Oh no, sorry, hang on. Whoa, no, Mashal has a hand. There we go. Hang on, we got one. Hang on. Okay. There we go. Mash, would you like to ask your question?
Yeah, thank you, Dean. Kraigg, just a couple. How, in terms of you as an opener, how much pressure do you feel or put on yourself to have to set the tone for the rest of the team? Obviously, you're essentially the most experienced batter. You've got the most Test match centuries, and so many people always look to you to almost see off the new ball, etc. Or is it just business as usual for you?
Yeah, just business as usual, to be honest. Been opening for a long while, and it's pretty second nature. What I have to do is, I don't say is added pressure. There's always nerves to playing a test match and playing any cricket match. But for me, I just aim to go there and be as still as possible, and I look to lead from the front.
Yeah, and just further to that, in the tour game at Beckenham, you came out for a bit of a knock in the first innings, but in the second innings you let Zachary and Mikael open. You didn't come back out to bat. Is that just a sign that you're comfortable with your preparation and where your game is at, and that you didn't feel the need to have to go back out there?
Well, I'm ready to go, but I had a bit of back spasms that day, so that's why I didn't. That's the reason why I didn't bat in the second innings. But in saying that, I'm ready to go as well.
Thank you very much, Kraigg.
Okay. I think that's it. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Cheers.
Yeah,